Okay, we are just 3 minutes away for the Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh first do or die encounter in the Asia Cup.
Imagine.
Yes. Equation is simple. A loss means they are out.
Hey, win and you're in, lose and you snooze.
Yep. Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh, as Rahul also knows and you all also know, it's a case of broken glass doors, Nagin dance, and
strained relations.
Strange relations. I mean, I was there in the Nidahas Trophy watching it all from Colombo, what all had happened. There was a wide call which incensed the Bangladesh team so much that they threatened to take the team out. And when Isuru Udana bowled that one, Mahmudullah hit it for a 6. Sri Lanka were out. And the way Khalid Mahmood and the entire Bangladesh team stormed onto the Premadasa, it was a sight to behold. And later on, what we see? Broken glass.
Who was Shakib broke that?
Yeah. Yes. But he only got a 25%, he was fined only 25%. So the Sri Lankan authorities very gracious about it. But what that match did, when India took on Bangladesh, the crowd absolutely went berserk for India.
Yeah, they were backing. I think India were...
With this, thanks to this also. That Nagin dance really infuriated a lot of Sri Lankans and they have not forgotten it even today.
And Indians.
Now, even
So
recently, one Sri Lankan guy, when one Bangladesh batsman got out, he did the Nagin dance. Immediately there was a confrontation.
And that's like, it's 4 years later, mind.
Yep. So it is a really bad situation at this point in time. But yep, the debate today is actually not on Sri Lanka Bangladesh to a major extent. Our major topic today is 59 not out. Virat Kohli. And he's now your top run getters in the Asia Cup 2022.
Interesting.
Yep, 59 and 35. He's now gotten 94 runs at an average of 94.
One
not out. He was not out against Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Is the king back? That is what we are going to debate about it today. There were some very interesting comments in that interview which both Surya and Kohli did
And the BCCI.
on the official website of the BCCI. It was about their clarity in roles, how their approach to batting now in this current Rohit Sharma template Indian cricket team is. And it made up for some very interesting comments. Shravan Sai, I haven't gotten the answer to my question. There is no template in T20I. You need to win the game or you need to score a run above, but then KL must not be criticized because we won.
See, that's fair enough, but I think what we have also learned pretty clearly is that the Indian team are following a template of looking to play attacking cricket from ball 1.
Yes.
If we go by that, then KL Rahul absolutely deserves to be criticized.
Yeah, but then again, is that the template? Playing aggressively from ball 1?
Yes, it's pretty clear. Look at Rohit's scores in recent time. His average has dipped. Strike rate is still very good. And even yesterday, he was striking it at 150 plus when he got out. So that is clearly the template. Rohit himself has bought into it nicely.
But Virat doesn't seem to agree with the template. You know why? Because before the tournament began, when he had that interview with the host broadcaster, he said templates and all cannot be. You cannot play with a particular template in big game tournaments because one day it can implode. So that is where the question is, what is the template?
That is fair enough, but I think, see, that's the thing. I think the best teams, and this is true across sport, have a plan A, a way they want to play and impose themselves on the opposition, but also a fallback for when things don't go their way. The plan A right now, quite clearly, is bang, go hard. So if you hit 1 6, don't look for a single, look for a second 6 if possible. That is the clear template. Of course, as you say, sometimes, there are going to be mitigating circumstances. What if you lose 2-3 early wickets? What if you're on a pitch that is sluggish and, not exactly conducive to good stroke play? Then, of course, the template changes. But I think there's nothing wrong with having a, plan A and then a fallback plan B or even a C which you would use depending on circumstances. The two don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Well, do they have a plan A first? That is
Yeah,
the thing.
that's quite clear. As I say, it's evident in the way Rohit bats.
Yep. So Sri Lanka have won the toss and have chosen to bowl.
Yeah, we'll be keeping on giving you small updates.
Giving you small updates on that. Remember, for the next 2 days now, after this game, the action shifts to Sharjah. Pakistan, Hong Kong is in Sharjah. And a must-win game for Pakistan and Hong Kong. If Pakistan lose tomorrow, they are out. And your chapter 2 remains Melbourne, October 23rd, if that happens. So let's see. Dex is asking one question: why BCCI doesn't provide the stadium crowd with earpieces to listen to live commentary like they do in England, Australia, and South Africa?
Wait, really?
Yes, you have those Sky earpieces that they have.
God, sorry, I didn't.
Okay.
What's the question?
Yeah, stop somewhere.
Decks basically
Dex
are
is asking why BCCI doesn't provide the stadium crowd with earpieces.
So that happens only in England.
there. Yeah, and to be
Only
fair,
in England. I
that's
think
not
it doesn't
an
happen in
ECB
Australia as
initiative.
well.
By the
That's a
way,
Sky
and
initiative.
it's not free of cost, by the way. You
Yeah.
have to pay £10 for that. And at the end of the game,
give it back?
you have to return
Wait,
it.
hold on. £10 is what Sky would be charging for that, and it's not like they charge less money for the pleasure of viewing their sporting action.
10 it used to be. I don't
Might
know.
just
what-
have gone up a bit also.
Yeah, I think it was £10 or could have.
I thought they charge a nominal rate for the entire duration of the match.
£10 is nominal.
And you have to return it at the end of the day.
I mean, look at all the plans that they have. In the UK, as you know, you need to have a license to watch TV.
Correct.
Without the license, you just can't buy a TV or subscribe to any of the channels. That's because of the BBC. But it's insane. All the prices, broadband plus TV plus all this, it is astronomically expensive.
That's one thing that we have to be very lucky. We were discussing this off
I know.
earlier, is that when it comes to the prices that we pay for our TV consumption or streaming consumption, very, very good compared to what it is in first world countries. They fleece.
True. And
Absolutely.
especially those events, pay-per-view.
Pay-per-views. Oh,
Man, like-
I cannot understand the American model at all when it comes to television.
No,
I'm
but
sorry.
but they do make money out
Oh
of it.
my God, they make money.
Because
huge.
people are crazy, and it's not just for India. I don't know if somebody would be willing to pay except for cricket. In America, you will pay for virtually I think for a lot of sports, be it UFC, be it even WWE.
in fact,
Yes.
WWE were the pioneers
Pioneers
when it
of
came to
PPV.
pay-per-view.
Yes.
Monthly, like they'll have a weekly TV, monthly pay-per-views.
Yes.
Monthly.
I think
UFC took that template forward.
Yes, even your a lot of boxing events.
Yep.
Yeah. Every boxing event is
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
yeah.
Your major cards are
Yeah.
always broadcast on
And
pay-per-view.
that's why I don't know. I don't think that in India this model will be successful.
Not a chance.
At least not in near future.
No,
Yeah.
not ever. Especially now at a time when everything is available at such good rates.
And the market is very competitive.
Yes.
That's another problem.
Yeah, if one organization X is offering it at a higher rate, you have 10 organizations offering it to you at a lower rate. So what's the point?
Yep.
Anyway, back to Virat Kohli.
So Virat Kohli yet again, 2 matches after a gap of 6 to 7 weeks. He came in the match against Pakistan in a slightly precarious position. KL Rahul out in the first over. 35 of 34, we believed he was mistiming more than hitting it off the middle of the bat. Here, he took his time, but he ended up with a 50 at a decentish strike rate of 145.
Decent-ish.
Decentish by Virat Kohli standards, I'm
No,
saying.
but even in his prime,
Yeah,
it was
even in his
140
prime,
odd
140.
strike rate.
Is it fair to first assume the thing that Virat Kohli is in a lean patch in white ball cricket? Why? Because in 2020, 2021 and in 2022, if you have to look at his T20 average and his T20 strike rate,
It's all dropped.
it is 35 plus. In 2021, it was 74 and his strike rate was 135 plus.
Now it must have improved to 24, 25 this year.
This year.
This year, 25. So, is it fair that did we have a very wrong thing that okay, Virat Kohli is in the middle of a lean patch? Perhaps it is true for tests. Maybe it is not so much for white ball cricket.
I think even in ODIs, remember in England, he was struggling.
Yep, he didn't have a good ODI series which was there. He managed, I think, his highest score was 16.
And see, the thing with numbers is they can be a little deceptive.
Yep.
Truth be told, for like since 2021, later parts of 2021, the Kohli that we've seen batting hasn't been the same batsman. He just hasn't.
Yeah.
Let's leave aside the lean patch when it comes to centuries, leave aside the stats. Fact of the matter is, this isn't the same batsman. At least he doesn't look the same batsman.
Well, Virat Kohli had a very curt response to that, a very clear response when asked. I mean, how are you feeling when you're batting out there? He just said one thing: milestones, number of centuries, number of runs. I just don't bother about that.
Of course, he'll say that.
I am right now in a very happy space. I feel happy. I am comfortable with my game at this point in time.
Excuse me.
So Virat Kohli is now very, very clear. Like, he is in a good mental space at this point in time. Second, role reversal. What are we looking at Virat Kohli for in this team? Is he going to be your bang aggressor, or is he going to be a stabilizing factor?
Possibly the latter. Possibly.
Because Virat Kohli has said, my role is to stabilize the innings and build partnerships. That's the first clear indication he's given in that entire interview that he had. Second, my role can change. He gave a classic example. He said, if you had gotten out Surya early, I could have taken risks. Why? Because I had the buffer of Rishabh coming in, Jaddu coming in,
and
DK coming in. In the previous game, I had the benefit of Hardik Pandya also. So I can take risks, but my game changes immediately at that moment. He is going to be a moments player now. If sky is going bang, he said, I have to hold one end up so that he gets the thing. And on these kind of wickets, even Surya pointed that out. He said, you can easily catch up, because if you're 35 or 34, if you hang in there, the next 10 balls you can score at a strike rate of 200, 250.
That's something we've seen even hard hitters take that approach. Gale has done it. In recent times, Butler did it. So it's not an uncommon thing that, it's not just a case of looking to attack every ball. Sometimes it is okay to take your time and then make up for that strike rate later on. Kohli in recent times, I think, hasn't exactly been able to do that though.
Yep. Against a better bowling attack, this thought process will be tested. Because it was Hong Kong, slightly inexperienced, maybe he could pull it off. But a potential second match against Pakistan on September 4th, then a match on September 6th, because India are playing now back to back, September 4th and September 6th. That we will come to know how Kohli has truly evolved. But the start has been decentish.
Yeah, true.
I don't say he's set the stage on fire. But kind of the patchy form is still there.
But you can say at least that there are signs that he's maybe coming out of that funk a little bit. There's some signs at least. Look, runs are runs, let's be fair. We always say that, and it's an international match. Runs are runs. You can't really,
Indeed. But with 9 wickets and playing run a ball by KL and Virat, don't you think it is a crime in T20, even though you don't believe in template, just to score 50 personally, Shobhan Sai? But why? Why is it a crime to score 50 personally?
See, and a lot of mitigating circumstances here. First off, we know for a fact KL and Virat were both kind of looking forward to a game like this so that they could back themselves into a little bit of form. And I was pretty critical of KL's innings because, quite frankly,
he couldn't
kick on. He couldn't kick on at all. But Kohli, on the other hand, even though he hung around for a bit and was very scratchy initially, later on he did kind of find his flow. So I don't see anything wrong with his innings.
Yeah, it didn't work out for KL, unfortunately. Look, he's coming. If you thought Kohli was coming after a long break for 6 weeks, KL's coming back after 5 months. June he missed, July he missed, August he missed. August he's playing.
So 3 months, you can say.
3 months, essentially. He's not played for 2.5 months.
And then recovering from injury, COVID also.
That forced him to miss the West Indies series. So for KL, the rustiness will remain for a little bit longer. But whether Rohit backs him, whether team management backs him, I think they will
go down.
Now is not the time for experiments anymore.
I keep seeing people say, put Pant up the order, put Huda there. No, please no, not now.
But even Rohit has given an indication that his batting order needs to be flexible. The flexibility comes in the fact that Ravindra Jadeja's promotion. That is one, and he's informed everybody in the group there. He's informed everybody that everybody wants to bat in a certain position, but we have to be flexible. The whole group has been informed of this. So that is an indication that probably Jadeja's thing was a matchup situation. It was in that sense. That was one way. Whether they change the opening combination after, say, if KL doesn't have a good Asia Cup, what happens? You still back him?
Yes.
Play him as an opener for the 3 T20As against Australia and 3 against South Africa, and then the ICC World T20 World Cup.
He'll be back. You have no choice. You just don't at this point, because the circumstances of his recovery was such that he didn't really have that much game time beforehand to get into match fitness. Match fitness is a whole different thing.
Yep.
When you're talking about coming back from an injury, a long layoff.
Yep.
It's one thing to be physically fit, but being match fit is a whole different thing. And in that regard, you need to be backing him. You have to give him as many games as possible, which is why I think all of us were so critical when in that first Zimbabwe ODI he didn't come out to open. Like, this is the perfect opportunity to bat long.
Yep.
See, for me, I can look at the innings that KL Rahul and even Virat Kohli, they both played with a slightly, because I think you're playing against Hong Kong. You knew that this, even before you started, you knew that this game was already in the bag. 99.99%
It was
you would
in the
have
bag,
won that game. So even in the pre-match, I thought that Rohit Sharma will take that attacking approach. As far as KL Rahul is concerned, I think he will bide his time. I thought that he will bide his time and will take his time to get a few runs, would settle in, and thereafter he can take it from there. But that didn't happen. He took 39 deliveries, and even when he got out, even a couple of balls before that, in fact consistently that was happening. He was hitting and missing. He was not able to judge the length of the ball or the pace of the deliveries, especially against the spinners. So they were troubling him. Conditions also. As far as Virat is concerned, I like the fact that I think Virat still has a long way to go when we say that King is back, because what we've seen, I still believe what we've already seen of Virat Kohli, not even Virat Kohli can match that.
Yes.
Forget about others. Forget about any other international cricketer. I think even Virat Kohli cannot match what Virat Kohli has already done in this last decade.
Yes.
Because, and that too, it's not just about the amount of runs or the manner in which he scored those runs. It is also about the consistency with which he scored those runs, got those runs, chasing chasing totals, one match after the other. And so, when you had all that pressure, and he's won you games on perhaps some of the most pressure games, he's won you those games. So Virat, so I would like, because as far as intent, I like the way when Virat admitted, in fact Surya Kumar, we saw that interview earlier today on BCCI TV. So what happened there, Virat said the initial conversation, as soon as Surya Kumar Yadav joined him, he said the initial conversation that we had was, I said that I'll take that role of the aggressor. I will go after the bowling. You take your time. You can just maybe, because, and that is where the how you read the game and how you read the conditions also plays a part. So Virat must have read the conditions. It was difficult. The ball wasn't coming onto the bat. But the moment he saw that, the moment I realized that Surya Kumar Yadav was going after the bowling, I thought, okay, I'll be there. I'll stick around with him and let him score, because the way he was, and for a senior pro like Virat, I thought it was very good, because he had achieved what he had got runs. 30 odd runs he had already scored. He could have also gone for every ball he could have gone for his shots, but he didn't, because he knew maybe the next batsman that who would come in, Surya Kumar Yadav didn't find it difficult, but maybe the other batsman who comes in may find it difficult to adjust to the pace of the ball on these conditions. So as I said, I think King hopefully would be back. these are still initial few games, and he's looking better with every game. At least he looked better in the last game, as if you compare it to the one against Pakistan. Hopefully he does. And you also have for KL Rahul, these kind of wickets are not the ones where you would want to make a comeback. On these slow, sluggish wickets, you wouldn't want to make a comeback into the team on these kind of wickets. Australian wickets, maybe KL Rahul, those kind of wickets, because those would be Pata wickets where the ball wouldn't do much.
Yes.
True bounce, no movement.
So maybe
best places.
KL Rahul, those kind of wickets might just suit him. So, and as this tournament.
But yet again, as I said in Australia, you're going to play in October. Fresh wickets.
Yeah.
That might change the dynamics slightly because
But Siddharth, I still feel they would want to have those kind of wickets where you have too much of runs.
Because looking at the trend that's happening in the Australia-Zimbabwe matches in Tony Ireland Stadium, okay, initial 5-6 overs there's movement, late movement, but then after that the wicket just flattens out. It happens. So maybe the trend, see Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, all these wickets, there will be some hint for 2-3 overs. And Melbourne is a drop in. Adelaide is a drop in. Sydney is a proper wicket. Perth is also a proper wicket.
And Sydney traditionally is
a
wicket where spinners tend to do.
So that is the thing. Roy SP is like asking, gentlemen, your opinions on the Auss squad for a T20 World Cup. And I agree that McDermott hasn't done well. Ben McDermott, he's saying. But shouldn't he have been persisted with? Well, you'll have to wait for that. I'm coming.
No, but in place of?
That's the question. Why he didn't set the stage on fire after
took a punt with Tim David.
And Tim David has done really well in all the T20 leagues that he's featured in. And he was very, very unlucky to not have gotten enough opportunities for the Mumbai Indians. Yes, he had a bad start. He dropped a catch in the game against Delhi Capitals and he didn't have a good start. But after that, he just showed.
Ayush, if I read your name correctly.
Abhishek, goodness.
No, we'll take this question. We'll come back to Ayush. Ayush, I've got your question. Abhishek, we'll go to Abhishek Anurag first. Let's go back to Abhishek. What is Abhishek saying?
Only one team I don't like is Bangladesh, who has a bad attitude and dance on the pitch. ICC should get in Zim or some associate nation for Bangladesh.
That would be very harsh, though. Although I can agree with that first point entirely. I think their Nagin dance antics.
Their attitude in the last.
It has happened, if you remember, even against India, it has happened in the past. When you would remember that 2015 World Cup, when Rohit Sharma,
no ball,
that pull shot that Rohit played was given a no ball. The entire Bangladesh
effigies were burned.
Yes, and after that, and especially what happens after that. So it's not too much of that's why the relations between the players also
are not great, let's say.
Exactly. Irrespective of the rivalry that India shares with Pakistan, traditionally, not just I'm not talking about the current times. Even if you see, even in the early 2090s, 80s, there was a great deal of mutual respect between the two teams, the players of the two teams, and it's not just about mutual respect. I've seen how they interact with each other.
Yes.
They're like best of buddies, abusing each other, talking about abusing as in just like two buddies. Exactly. And Indian players, they've shared a great rapport, camaraderie with the Pakistani players.
Yes.
But do they share that kind of camaraderie with the Bangladesh?
Not really, no.
Not really.
And this is despite the fact that there are quite a few Bangladesh players who are playing IPL, so you have that exposure to them.
Yeah, just about 2-3 of them have played.
And Bangladesh, to be very honest, in the last decade or so, they've done pretty well actually. Bangladesh as a team, as a cricket nation, they've done pretty well. But now suddenly.
There's a big decline now.
See, their golden period was after the World Cup quarter final. During the World Cup, they reached the quarters. After that, they won series against India, South Africa, Pakistan. But after that, their slump came. And 2016 World T20, who could forget that? 2 fours, Mushfiqur Rahim hit.
Yeah.
And then after that, the premature celebration. That's why you can't celebrate too early.
Also, if you're talking about relations, Sarek, Mustafiz on the cutter.
Yeah.
The newspaper ad.
That newspaper ad. In 2015, it was really in bad taste and came up after Bangladesh had won the series.
And remember those hoardings, huge hoardings, where a severed head of MSD.
Taskin Ahmed and MS Dhoni.
yeah.
2016 Asia Cup.
2016 that was. So Ayush Pandey, because we've got a lot of questions, because Ayush, I don't know a lot if you people know about this. Maybe Ayush, through Ayush's question, we can just let you guys know, because Siddharth has mentioned a lot many times that Melbourne has a drop-in pitch. So he's asking, what is a drop-in pitch? So what exactly is a drop-in pitch is, so you can say that these are pre-prepared pitches, like you in a cricket stadium, you have curators who maintain a pitch, who prepare a wicket. So what happens is these are pre-prepared wickets or pitches, not at the stadium. They are either airlifted and they are placed on that strip, on that area, through those nails. Okay,
Yes.
so that is how you get these wickets made, because, and it happens in Melbourne at the MCG. Why? Because this particular MCG is a very iconic ground, as we all know, and it's not just limited to just cricket. By the way, you have other sports also. For example,
AFL,
the AFL,
Aussie rules.
one of the most popular sport in Australia, that is also played at the MCG. So they can use that particular venue or that ground for other purposes also, for other sports also. So that is a drop-in pitch, and that is what MCG
Yep.
usually does.
New Zealand and Australia, you will see this phenomenon of a lot of drop-in pitches, because in New Zealand, remember, the prime sport is rugby.
Jeff Rowe,
Yes.
that's referee.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
New Zealand and Australia, you will see most of these drop-in pitches, because in New Zealand, rugby is the prime
Rugby is
sport.
the prime
Exactly.
sport, all black.
So that is why in Auckland in particular, they have these movable stands, if you are aware. Once the cricket match is over, they'll just move the stands and ensure that the pitch is longer. A rugby game can happen.
Exactly.
So in fact, I was lucky enough to actually witness right in front of me, and this was at the MCG only, where I saw how a drop-in pitch was placed on that particular area, how the ground was being prepared at that time.
2015 World Cup.
I think this must have been before 2015 World Cup.
The 2012 Tour of India. India Tour of Australia.
Yeah, I'm very bad with my memory and years and dates. Trust me, I'm actually very bad.
Was it MS Dhoni's farewell test match at Melbourne?
Don't ask me. I don't remember. But this was
But you saw the thing actually
Happened.
This was actually just before 2015, somewhere before the 2015 World Cup.
World Cup.
Anyways, SP Roy, once again, he's saying not Tim David, but do you think Smith fits the bill in today's T20s? Finch is already struggling at the top, although Australia has a great middle order. See, that is exactly what everybody is asking. So is Tim David going to replace Steve Smith? Now Steve Smith, if you would remember, a few weeks ago, he was asked about his place. He said that I was given a role. I was trying to perform that role, and things may have changed now, because his role was what exactly Siddharth was mentioning about, or you were mentioning about Virat Kohli. What exactly was? So Rohit and KL Rahul can play aggressively, and you need a player like Virat Kohli who can accumulate runs and hold one end, and from the other end everybody can go bang bang. And similarly, so Smith admitted that was a role that was given to him, but did he perform that role to the satisfaction of the selectors and team management? So
That's debatable.
Yeah, barring one game that he had against South Africa in the 2021 World T20, he's traditionally struggled.
And see, that's the
Although
thing.
in the last couple of years, by the way, in the last couple of years, he has invested a lot in T20 cricket. Especially, he has tried to change his game. He's worked very, very hard on his T20 game.
Although he was not picked in the 2022 IPL by any team. And on top of that, he could have played the Big Bash League last season, but that move was blocked by the state associations because of the bio bubble thing, and also because most of the teams had already submitted a list of players that they would want. Now, if Steve Smith came into that, it amounted to favoritism, and also because your local talent would also get compromised. So, Cricket Australia very clear. No, you're not
Anurag,
getting Steve
sorry.
Smith back.
Yeah. Go to. We'll take a few more
Yeah,
questions.
Finch, I'm surprised. Finch, he better perform.
No, but I think this was already declared a year ago
Yeah.
that we are looking at this team will revolve around Aaron Finch till
yes.
this T20 World Cup. That's what
I think after that they might just make a
you
call.
never know. In next few months, in next 12 months, you will have another World Cup in India.
In India.
So you never know. Do they have?
And on the interesting sidelines, David Warner has requested Cricket Australia
he would
to
be my pick.
ensure
He would
that
be my pick.
the ban is lifted, because in the aftermath of Sandpaper Gate in Newlands, Warner has been handed a lifetime ban from all leadership roles.
Peely chappal, yellow sandals,
And see, even the DP compliments. I like that.
Yes.
or maybe peely or yellow slippers. Okay, if KL doesn't pick. Okay, if KL's form doesn't pick up by the end of the
September
Asia Cup,
11th, yeah.
drop him, let Pant open and give him freedom to go all out in the first 6 overs. Quick fire 30 will mitigate Rohit. Tell me.
But Rohit also is hitting quick fire 30s only. So
No, but Rohit, Rohit hit how many? 13 ball 21 in the last
21,
game.
yeah.
Before that, he got 18 ball 12.
12 ball 18.
Against,
I'm not
against
talking about
Pakistan.
this. I'm talking about previously also. If you go through his scores, look, quick fire 20, 30 is what he's been.
Again, okay, we had all explored that option, right? Whether Pant can come back.
Oh.
And there is Nikhil.
Joined by Nikhil, wonderful.
Yep, we are joined by Nikhil.
Nikhil Nas, live
Vanakkam.
from Sharjah, the iconic venue that doesn't get too many games now.
Anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, but one of the most iconic games.
90s
at
kids
least-
vibes.
even 80s, by the
80s,
way.
yes.
80s and
More
90s.
80s. I'm a 90s kid. I didn't watch that.
80s and 90s.
Yeah.
It's one of the most iconic venue, at least for India and Pakistan.
Yep. Pakistan dominating India, Desert Storm,
Yeah,
Tendulkar. Oof, memories.
A lot of things have happened. Okay.
Seems to be some problem.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nikhil.
Can you hear us?
What made you?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So, Nikhil, what made you leave Dubai and visit Sharjah?
I was like, I need a Insta picture in the Sharjah cricket stadium. I mean, how can I not come here? My childhood memories from the 80s, 90s, so much. When I was sitting in now which is the press area, I don't know how many of you remember, that used to be the VVIP area. And when I sat there, I was reminded of, in those days, there were those small cubicles where you would have, celebrities sitting, and each cubicle used to have a TV.
Yes,
Inside the cubicle,
yes.
if you remember. So
Yes.
I sat there, those cubicles don't exist. I still remember all big Bollywood celebrities. Rishi Kapoor, I remember somehow. Anju Mahindu, I remember, sitting there. These are just images that come to your mind, from
Almost
so many years ago.
everybody from the film industry, I think, would have, at least
Yes.
from that
Yes.
generation, would have visited Sharjah. And Sharjah, there was a stage when India, Pakistan were almost equals in world cricket, I thought.
Yeah.
But this is the venue that changed it all in 1986 when
Javed Mian, the last ball
hit
six.
Chetan Sharma for a six.
Yes.
And after that, somehow I thought that there was a monkey. And it took years for India. Maybe I think that 1996 series, that India versus Pakistan in Sharjah, when Sachin hit a century. I think that may have changed. Although
The partnership with Navjot Singh Sidhu.
Navjot Singh Sidhu,
Yes.
when, if I remember correctly, when Azharuddin ran after Amir Sohail, this was that very series, if I'm not wrong.
Even Sidhu, I think, threatened Sohail.
I think it was Sidhu only.
Sidhu
Yes,
threatened
you're right.
Sohail, yep.
You're right. Navjot Singh Sidhu.
Yeah, the way
So
how he
you
tongs
got what
the
you
plane.
wanted in Sharjah?
Yes, I have. I've compiled a very fine story for you guys.
Amazing.
It should be up on Sports Today. I'll send it to you. By the way, while I was, doing the story, I realized a major milestone is just round the corner for this stadium. I'll tell you what that milestone is. The most number of ODIs played. Already Sharjah is number one.
Yes,
Way ahead.
yes.
It's at 244. No one even comes close.
Yes.
But most number of international matches played. Overall, the record stands with Sydney Cricket Ground with 280. That includes test matches, one days, and T20Is. You know where Sharjah is at the moment? 279, one behind Sydney Cricket Ground. The next match, Pakistan New Zealand, they'll tie. Pakistan Hong Kong, they'll tie. And then there's another Super Fours match that is going to happen here in the stadium in this tournament. They'll go ahead of the Sydney Cricket Ground for the very first time. So it will become the ground with the most number of international matches. The interesting bit is Sydney took from 1880s to now to reach the mark of 280. In Sharjah, it all started in 1984, 100 years later, and it will be surpassing the SCG. So that's a very interesting thing that I just figured out.
One SCG to another SCG, huh? Sharjah Cricket Ground, Sydney Cricket Ground.
Yes.
So is it deserted?
Yes, no match day today. Tomorrow is the game here. Pakistan Hong Kong is going to be played here. So pretty quiet here. I'm the only person from the media who's turned up. But you know, as I said, I was just talking to a few people here who are part of the marketing team, and they were asking me what I'm doing. So I said I'm living the nostalgia, looking back at all the games. So they themselves came up with suggestion. Everyone says Desert Storm. I also spoke about that game in Rockman's Cup where India were folded for 120, but they dismissed Pakistan.
87. Yes.
Imran was man of the match. Even though he was the losing side, picked up 6 wickets.
6 for 14.
So that game is something that you remember. Of course, you spoke about the Chetan Sharma match as well. 11 to defend of the last over, 4 to defend of the last ball. In fact, now he's the chairman of selectors. I interviewed him once and I spoke to him about that last ball 6. He says, you know what? Even today, I'm at a traffic signal and someone is on the other car, he'll see me and he'll ask me कि यार आपने full toss क्यों दी last ball? He says still today I get asked. He says nobody remembers that I'm the first man to take a hat-trick in a game. Nobody remembers that. Nobody says that.
New Zealand.
And he won you a series in England.
In England, yes.
Most wickets, right?
1986.
Nobody remembers that.
I think 87.
Nobody remembers
when he was not even part of the squad.
86, yeah. He says, but nobody remembers that. Everyone just asks me, Chakka, full toss kyun? So, that's the memory.
Oh my goodness. Poor Chetan Sharma. Really.
So, Nikhil, just to query, who's the selector? Is Sunil Joshi the only selector there for the Asia Cup from India?
Yes, only. If you notice the last few years how they've had this sort of a arrangement where one selector and they have a rotational policy which travels with the team. So at the moment only one selector, Sunil Joshi, is here with the team.
The other one would be traveling for the India A,
New Zealand tour.
New Zealand. So because I can still see a lot of vehicles behind you, so I assume still, of course, there's an Asia Cup happening there, so people would be there.
These are mostly broadcasters, cars, or the sponsors, marketing guys, all of them. Because tomorrow, as I said, there's a match and the preparations are always on. So
one more thing that I wanted to ask. Nothing. People would be wondering. They're not talking anything about cricket. Although Sharjah Cricket Ground is of course related to cricket. Nikhil, how did you travel from Dubai to Sharjah?
I took a cab, and you know what's the interesting bit?
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. You can't take the same cab back to.
Yes.
No, you can't.
Yes.
So I have a very nice gentleman we met. He's from Pakistan. He's been a cab driver who's taking us around everywhere. So I asked him that I need to go to Sharjah. He said, "Fine, I'll take you, but I can only drop you there. I can't bring you back." And I said, "Why?" He says that there is a rule that if you're in a Dubai taxi, you can only drop a person to the other, principality, but you can't pick them up from there. So he can only drop me. And similar, so he said you'll have to take a local Sharjah cab to come to Dubai. And similarly, the guy from Sharjah who drive you to Dubai cannot pick another passenger and come back. So
in fact,
that's the rule.
I don't know how you plan to go back to Dubai, because I don't know how far the stadium is from the bus station. I traveled once. I took a bus, in fact. A public transport to travel to Sharjah or Abu Dhabi, I don't remember. So this could be somewhere very near. The bus might just drop you somewhere very near to where you are staying in Dubai. Because Dubai, Nikhil is staying very close to Dubai Mall, right under the Burj Khalifa, the iconic monument in Dubai. So it might just drop you. How much time did it take?
It took about 45 minutes for me to get here. Not too much. That's because not too much traffic. So my cab driver told me that we beat the traffic. Had we left after 4 p.m. local time, then we would have got a lot of traffic. Because what happens here, most people stay in Sharjah because it's relatively affordable, but work in Dubai. So in the morning, going from Sharjah to Dubai is the peak hours. We'll get a lot of traffic, and in the evening, from Dubai to Sharjah is there. Now I'll be going against traffic, so I will not get much traffic.
Yeah, but if you're staying there in the main city in Dubai, there it could be.
There I will. Yeah.
It'll be it's a very busy place. Have you had a chance to go to Dubai Mall?
I am staying in the Dubai Mall, so I've had a chance to go there. The hotel is in Dubai Mall, but the thing is, don't get too much time to go hang around the mall. So I haven't had that chance. Today was the first kind of an easy day, but then I thought, let me just go to Sharjah and do this bit. So I did. Maybe tomorrow. I think tomorrow also won't be a chance because tomorrow India will have a press conference and practice, so that will be important. So I'll head there.
No. But press conference, I think day after tomorrow's press conference and practice will be more important. You can actually have a relaxed day tomorrow. Because relaxed day as in not saying that not to do anything. Because press conference,
There's no such day.
maybe Vikram Rathore would come for the press conference, or who's the Paras Mahabari? Somebody, and practice.
What if
King
Virat Kohli comes?
I doubt. He's already given the interview to the broadcaster and to the BCCI. If you, in fact, I don't know how, what was the duration of that post-match presentation with Surya Kumar Yadav?
4 minutes 37 seconds.
So that's fine then.
4 minutes 37
because
seconds.
somebody actually, yesterday when you were doing that show, so we asked one of our producers, Shivam, who's upstairs. So we asked him, he got a bite of Surya Kumar Yadav. Then we asked him if, is this all that he said? He said, yeah, just 13 seconds. So I was surprised. I thought maybe it was because the broadcaster wanted to do an interview with or the BCCI wanted to do an interview, then he had to go for the press conference also. But it's very interesting, usually you have to play something really, really special for Virat to do an interview with you.
Yep, and to be blown away.
So basically, we've been discussing about Virat Kohli is the king back. Nikhil?
No, I wouldn't go so far as to say that the king is back, because we've seen the king in his pomp, and that was very different to what we are seeing right now. So I don't think you can say that the king is back. But there are signs that he's improving, and I think one of the most interesting bits that I noticed, and he put an Insta story on that, was his jersey signed by the Hong Kong team, and they've signed a jersey and given to Virat, in which they say that, listen, we have full faith in your ability and we know that you're going to bounce back. Now, what does that tell me? So firstly, there is an admission on the part of the Hong Kong team that, he's going through a slump and he needs to find his form back. And Virat posting that, saying that what a sweet gesture, is also a sort of an admission, an acceptance of the fact that yes, he's not been in the form that he's enjoyed for majority of his career. Now this is a change, because if you look back at the past, I think the debate around Virat Kohli, and it came from Virat itself when you asked him, I don't think Virat believed that he was out of form or that he was going through a slump. Up until now, we heard things like, I don't pay heed to outside noise, I don't. For the very first time, this is a sort of an admission by Virat Kohli, and I could see that even in the interview he did with the broadcast.
When did he say? Sorry. Nikhil, sorry, come again. I missed you somewhere, or maybe I missed this part of from Virat where he admitted. Where did this happen? Where he said that I was.
No, I never said. No, I said that there has been no admission so far.
Yes.
So I am saying these are the first few signs where he's posting a jersey where people are saying that, listen, you will come back stronger, and posting it out. That is a sort of an admission that let's say if he did not subscribe to that view that he needs to bounce back because he felt that he was never out of form, I don't think he would put that out. Is what I'm saying is that there is a sort of an admission there. Also, if you heard from the interview of the Surya Kumar Yadav another Virat Kohli interview, in which also he says that he was out for a good month and a half, and
6
that
weeks.
there was a longer break, and now he's feeling refreshed and all of that. So I'm saying that there is, for the first time, an acceptance of sort from Virat Kohli that things need to be fixed, things need to win, or he believes things will get better. And I'm sure things will get better for him, but he's working on that line that things will get better, and that's a big change from where there was no acceptance of the fact that things are bad or things ever need to get better, because things have always been fantastic. That's the demeanor that he had for the longest time, where he felt that there was nothing wrong and it was only outside noise that people were talking. He was absolutely fine. First time there is this thing that he feels, yes, he is to get back to form. He found that he needs to take rest. He accepted the fact that he was finding it difficult to motivate himself and all of that. So for the very first time, we're getting to see the human side of Virat Kohli.
When you mentioned the fact that Virat has never openly admitted that he was out of form, because he has talked a lot about mental issues, that he was mentally down, he was not motivated enough, but never has he admitted that he was out of form. But I was just wondering, when people from the outside, whom you cannot avoid, like Shaheen Shah Afridi, he said, you would remember that conversation, that viral video, that he said, हम दुआ करते हैं कि आप फॉर्म में आ जाए. ठीक है. Then this one, that Hong Kong team.
Even one of the press conferences pre-India Pakistan, one of the players was saying, he said that we hope he comes back into form.
Shadab Khan.
He can avoid, but is it not impacting him that at least people are openly saying that you are out of form?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And now I think that there is that realization. And he's realized it himself. When people are saying that he's out of form, he himself is acknowledging that by, as I said, putting those things out, or various other players telling him, or even him, he's talking about, lacking motivation. So there is this, and I think that's the first step. Whenever there's an issue, I mean, it's not just for Virat Kohli, for all of us. We go through ups and downs. But the first step to come from down and go back up is to accept that we've come down, and I think that acceptance has happened. And from here on, I think Virat can only go up, as we've seen in the tournament so far. Got the 30 odd against Pakistan, did it better versus Hong Kong. You only expect him to get back into form. Also, in terms of his striking ability, I think because Surya played at such a level that it overshadowed Virat Kohli. Had it been anyone else who was playing at the same level as Virat Kohli, then Virat Kohli's not would have stood out. It's not really stood out just because of the kind of cricket that Surya Kumar was playing. But if you just look at it individually in isolation, Virat has improved even in just the 2 games that he's played between Pakistan and Hong Kong.
By the way, there's an appreciation message for you, Sachin Dwivedi, just like our over a lakh subscribers. He's saying, Nikhil sir, I'm watching your game analysis daily. Keep making these videos for us. Sachin, Nikhil is just about to share.
I have no other option.
One more interesting video with you. That's on the Sharjah cricket ground, where he is at the moment. He's done a nice story on that Sharjah cricket ground. So do watch it, and Nikhil can reply to your appreciation message.
Really?
You want me to reply? I can only say thank you. What else can I say?
No,
thank you so much for being kind. I'll try and do whatever I can. It's the thing is, I'm a bit handicapped with taking shots because I don't have a video journalist with me who can take some nicer shots. So pardon me if the shots are not nice, or if sometimes the audio is not working, or because I'm not very well versed with technology. I know a little bit of it, and so I'm trying to figure out. But no, there have been occasions where some audio has not gone, or the frame has been burning and all of that. So that has been tough. So for today, I realized that when you're doing a story, if you need like a pan or a tilt while you're doing a stand-up, you can't do it if you're alone. So those are the little handicaps you have. But then I think
Nikhil, before I don't, because you may have to rush back to Dubai, you may have to find a cab, car, something. Before we let you go, can you just pan the camera around so that viewers and even I and Shane and Siddharth can also see how the.
So
Yes.
I'm at one side of the stadium.
I know you must be
see
outside,
and-
inside. Yeah.
Yes, that is the other side. I was inside the stadium when you saw when we did the show, and I'm sure when you put the show out, you'll see. But this is where I am.
Can,
at the moment.
Anurag, can you please put.
This is-
Acha, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
So this is where I am. This is the stadium from the outside, as you can see. You know, nothing much. What's interesting is that when I traveled from Dubai to Sharjah, you know, Dubai is this new age city
Yeah,
which is
Sharjah is-
hustling and bustling with great infrastructure. When I just entered Sharjah, it was like a time machine. It took me back to the 90s.
Yes.
Because if you remember the coverage in the 90s, apart from what was happening in the ground, they would sometimes show, you know, fans standing in the streets and watching a lot of crowd gathering. So those streets are just like that, those shops are just like that. So it felt like I've come back to the 90s. Sharjah feels like it is from the 90s. There have been some cosmetic changes to the stadium here, you can see, but overall the stadium is pretty much that
Yeah.
single tier stand, you know, not those big structures that we see world over. Still very old school stadium that we used to see. So if you want to feel nostalgic, you want to you know, relive the old times, then you must pay a visit to the Sharjah cricket ground.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even I also found out the hard way when I'd gone in 2018. I asking, okay, you are going to be here? Because I was just going to go there for 30 minutes. The cab driver said, no, I can't. You'll have to take a separate cab. I was wondering why, what happened?
And it's a rule.
It's a rule. I found that out later
In
on.
all the
Principalities
Emirates,
there,
all
yeah.
the Emirates. So it's better you
Yep.
because one taxi driver, if he takes you from Dubai to Sharjah,
Yes.
he will charge you, and then he'll have to return without a passenger. Imagine.
Yes.
So do they charge? I don't even remember. Do they charge a bomb or something? How much did you pay? You
No.
taken a limo or something?
No,
I'll have to check. No.
It's
I'll have to
actually
check
not
as
that
to what's
much.
my bill. So where is my bill? I've kept my bill somewhere. I don't know because you know I pay it together after 2-3 days. I told you the driver is known now to us. He's the one who picks us all the time. So but it's regular charges. As in there's no extra charge because you're moving out of Dubai to Sharjah. So it's regular, and the distance is a little more than anywhere I travel every day from my ground to the Dubai stadium. So pretty much the same. So not too much.
All right,
Yep.
very nice. Anyways, I think you've already shared that story. We'll just put it out on Sports Today. Maybe you can
Yes.
just head back to Dubai and have a nice, relaxing stay there evening.
No, I have one more live to do in Hindi. So after that, I think I.
What time? It's already
8 o'clock.
oh, acha, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, right?
Yep.
Oh, great. Anyways, chalo. See you. Thank you very much. See you soon. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Say bye.
All right.
Oh,
so that
boy.
was Nikhil Nas.
Memories,
from,
so
Sharjah.
many memories.
Yeah, in fact, the moment he started talking about a few things, it seemed as if
We're all
transporting
transported
back. Yeah, means 281 international games over a period of
Madness.
38 years.
imagine the kind of or the number of matches that were
Every
played
nation has
during
played
that
in Sharjah. Every nation,
Yeah.
be it Zimbabwe, who reached the final in 1999 against India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, everybody played. England won a series in 1997 there, beating India, Pakistan, and West Indies.
We are talking about Sharjah. Is there a neutral venue in the world that has seen so much of cricket? I doubt.
doubt.
No.
I think
Only
it doesn't
other-
exist.
Yeah, exactly. Only other grounds are cricket-specific grounds and iconic grounds. So we're talking about like SCG.
So they have their own cricket teams. I'm saying, because UAE, I understand, but UAE doesn't have a cricket team per se.
infrastructure,
They have just like a lot of other associate nations. Is there any other?
No.
None that come to mind,
None.
honestly.
UAE, especially Sharjah, not even Dubai, not even Abu Dhabi. Sharjah was your place.
No, but now
Now all three have,
Yeah.
and that's why Sharjah is not getting that much of games.
Exactly.
Because I think the facilities are outdated, unfortunately.
outdated.
because these are new stadiums.
New
in
stadiums.
Yeah, exactly. Abu Dhabi and Dubai are
you
like
look at-
shiny new
you
toys.
Look at the kind. I'm sure even Sharjah, the hotels in UAE,
Yeah.
in the Emirates, they're all jazzed up.
Yep.
If you look at stay in these hotels, especially the kind of hotels that earlier, in fact, the team hotel that Nikhil was staying in, the Palm Jumeirah. I've stayed in a few Jumeiras
Yes.
in the Emirates, so I can say. but they have incredible,
yeah.
great hotels, great resorts, the kind of facilities, and
Unbelievable.
especially as far as Dubai is concerned, the facilities for cricket also.
Yeah.
You know,
There's the ICC academy,
Correct.
all the grounds there. Plus, I think capacity. Sharjah is much low on capacity.
Sharjah is, yes, a smaller ground.
Dubai and Abu Dhabi, they can easily seat over 40-50,000. Dubai, in fact, has the highest capacity of 60,000 plus, I guess.
it?
I think so.
65,000 is massive.
And that's the thing. Sharjah is an iconic stadium, but I think it's in a bit of a need of a refurbishment.
Yeah.
Upgrade the seating.
Because there are 2 tiers. We have 3 tiers in Dubai.
Where do you have the ICC headquarters?
Dubai.
in Dubai.
UAE.
You have it in Bardubai.
Yeah. Also, if I remember, there were a few. I remember a few years ago there was a thought, at least, that is there a possibility that the ICC headquarters can be moved out of Dubai to maybe England or some other.
So basically a cricketing nation.
But
That won't happen.
No.
And imagine this tally of 279 could have been 400 had the Gulf War not happened in 2003.
Correct.
Because until 2002-03 they were all playing in Sharjah. After that it all went off, and after that when did it come back in 2012?
Yeah, and
That was when Pakistan's hometown.
Yeah, that was one when Pakistan, and the second thing which I think brought more eyeballs was when the IPL started going there, because
Yep.
either due to election cycles, or more importantly the pandemic.
Yes.
2020 and 21 brought a lot of eyeballs back to UAE cricket.
Chalo, we'll just wind up. Before that, if you guys can, so many, we've been on for like a couple
Close
of
to an
hours
hour.
now.
Yeah.
Now, if you
Not a
can
couple,
just
yeah.
take a few names and questions. That
Austin Guna has an interesting question.
Yeah, I think Virat is not at his best yet. But he's Asia Cup top scorer at 94 average. He can build on it next 3 games. Can Pant play in pace of Rahul? He fails the Asia Cup wins again.
Answer the second question, no.
No, he can't.
Answer the first part of the question, yeah, I do think he can build on it. Of
He
course.
can build on
Aren't
it.
we all just hopeful that he's going to build on it?
See, he's got a chance against Pakistan on the 4th, and 6th also he's got a game, because India now play back to back on 4th and 6th, and then potentially on the 9th and hopefully on 11th. He's got 4 more games now, Virat. Potentially 4 more games.
if you guys have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we may
Mumbai
have
Road
to
was
say-
keeping on saying Vikrant
he had
Jadhav.
a-
What is the longest over ever bowled in international
He's
cricket?
back. I don't know when's the last time we saw him.
Longest
Mumbai Road.
over.
Longest over. That would include
Wides, no balls.
in
international cricket.
international cricket.
I think
check 17 or 21 deliveries.
I think
Check,
it was Daryl Tuffy against Australia, I guess.
No, okay. Is it? I thought
Maybe.
it would
That
be some-
opening over, I think, lasted some 10 to 12 minutes.
Check. Can you check?
Yep.
To be okay.
Roy SP, I
SP
feel this
Roy,
is
I
going to
think-
be essays or England's World Cup. Riley's inclusion lineup has made the batting lineup insane. What about Reza Hendricks after the England tour? Yes. South Africa are peaking in all departments at the right time.
For white ball cricket.
Yes, even in Test cricket.
See, at times even I can get it.
Mohammad Sami, he bowled 17 balls in 1 over, considered 7 wides and 4 no balls. Oh man.
17 deliveries.
Yes.
Mumbai Road.
Mohammad Sami,
Vikrant
yes.
Jadhav, huh?
Vikrant Jadhav,
Vikrant
yes.
Jadhav.
Mohammad Sami, yep. Oh boy. So yes, South Africa are my ultimate dark horses for the T20 World Cup, and
Maybe.
one of the contenders for the World Test Championship final title also.
The problem with South Africa, and this is something that I remember reading someplace else, is that they're not really getting much sponsorship viewership when it comes to Test cricket. So even for the WTC cycle, they're only playing the bare minimum number of tests.
Yeah.
So if they have to make it to the final, they're going to have to basically win every test match.
No, not really. Because see, they are going to play 2 tests against the West Indies. That will be at home,
Yeah.
which they'll easily win. But their major assignment is a 3-test series against Australia in Australia. That is potentially your curtain raiser for the final. Because Australia, South Africa could happen at Lord's in June 2023. And if that doesn't happen, India will have to win all 6 games.
Right.
Because 2 against Bangladesh, 4 against Australia. But against this Australian team, winning 4-0,
Is that
very
Uli
difficult.
Karthik doing the umpiring?
It did look
With that hat and glasses.
the hat and the goatee.
Beard.
Yeah.
By the way, Mushfiqur's hairline is a subject of a lot of stories. His hairline has receded. No, Mushfiq.
No problem.
Chalo, Ricky Patel. As he
Chalo, bhai. See you
Chalo, bhai.
later.
See you
See you later, Ricky Patel, and
Aao jo.
everybody. Thank you.
Chalo. Bye. See you.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today and follow
Like,
us on
share,
Facebook.
subscribe, follow us on platforms Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And we have a Sports the app also.
Download that too.
Yes, and check out the website. Vanakkam.